This video is a read-along video for Windigo, which is the second poem that we're going to be reading this week. So this is on page 108 of your book, but I also have a PDF posted on your calendar as well, so you can use that too. At this time, I'd like you to pause this video and just read through Windigo once on your own. Stop here and there and make some notes in the margins. Just to the best of your ability, summarize what's happening in this poem. Okay, so at this time, you should have read through Windigo once on your own. Now I'm going to read through it with you, and this time I'll have just a couple stopping places where I'll have you jot down some answers to read-along questions, and you can find these on your calendar. Let's have those pulled up before we start. They are linked right here under Monday, say first read questions. Then if you scroll down, you'll find the ones for Windigo. We just have 2 for this poem, but make sure that you have something pulled up that you can write on for these. A sheet of paper would be best, and a pencil or a pen, but you can also use a Google Doc if you don't have those at home. Otherwise, we'll get started. This is Windigo on page 108 of your book. You knew I was coming for you, little one, when the kettle jumped into the fire, towels flapped on the hooks, and the dog crept off, groaning, to the deepest part of the woods. And we are going to stop after this first stanza. So the first question I'd like you to answer is this: what feelings are conveyed or communicated through the first stanza of the poem? How would you describe the feeling you get from reading that first stanza? So pause this video and answer that question. And we will keep going with the second stanza. In the hackles of dry brush, a thin laughter started up. Mother scolded the food warm and smooth in the pot and called you to eat. But I spoke in the cold trees. New one, I have come for you. Child, hide and lie still. The sumac pushed sour red cones through the air. Copper burned in the raw wood. You saw me drag toward you. Oh, touch me, I murmured, and licked the soles of your feet. You dug your hands into my pale, melting fur. I stole you off, a huge thing in my bristling armor. Steam rolled from my wintry arms. Each leaf shivered from the bushes we passed until they stood naked, spread like the cleaned spines of fish. And we'll stop here. So the other question I'd like you to answer is this: what might the speaker or narrator of the poem look like? So you got some descriptors in the past 2 stanzas. What do you think the speaker of the poem looks like? Just based on what you read. So pause this video and answer that question. And then we'll read the last stanza. Then your warm hands hummed over and shoveled themselves full of the ice and the snow. I would darken and spill all night running until at last morning broke the cold earth and I carried you home, a river shaking in the sun. And that's Windigo. And just for some context, a Windigo is a Native American demon who feeds on human flesh. So actually that would help you answer the last question as well. But that's what you can picture when you read this poem. And that is actually the speaker of the poem as well. But this week we'll talk more about getting into that and what a Windigo is or might look like.